Okay, this is 2.1, and we're going to be talking about imperial units for length. And it will help if you have a ruler at your desk or a yardstick or maybe a measuring tape so you can see how imperial units are laid out. Let's do a couple of these, try these. 1/2 times 10, well that's the same as 0.5 times 10 or half of 10. We know that's 5. 1/4 of 24, okay, so that's 0.25. That's what 1/4 is. So we can take 0.25 and we can multiply that by 24 and we get an answer of 6. Or you can do 1 divided by 4 like we did on the getting started. And we can multiply that by 24 and we end up with the same answer of 6. Okay, 1/2 times 1760. Well, we can do that number. 1760 and 5,280, you're going to see a little bit later on in here that those numbers are significant in the imperial system. Okay, they have meaning. I won't tell that to you yet, but we'll take 1/2 times 1760, 1 divided by 2, which is 1/2, multiply that by 1760, and we get an answer of 880. And 3/4 times 5,280. Well, 3/4 is 0.75. You have 3/4 in your pocket. You know you have 75 cents, so it's 0.75. 3 divided by 4. Multiply that by 5,280, and we can answer 3,960. 3,960. Okay, so there's a little bit of warm-up for us. Now let's talk about the imperial system of measurement. It's a measurement that evolved from a system used in ancient Rome based on reference. Okay, the referent is just a known measure used for comparing and estimating. So body parts were the best reference for figuring out measurements. And example, 1 inch was usually the measurement of the width of a person's thumb. 1 foot was the distance from a person's heel to the big toe. That's what we get the foot from. And a yard was the measure of a person's stride. Okay, so you can see that body parts were used to come up with these measurements. Okay, let's look at imperial units for length. We have the inch, the foot, the yard, and the mile. We know that 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. We know that 3 feet to a yard, and here's that number 1,760. There's that many yards in 1 mile. Okay, these are measurements right here that you should probably memorize. Okay, it'd be really good and convenient to memorize them. Often these units were based on an important person, like a king. This resulted in units that were different in different regions. In 1824, the units were standardized and became the imperial system of measurement. Imperial from the kings. Okay? Write the 4 units of imperial measure above in order from largest unit to smallest unit. Well, the largest is the mile. Then we have the yard. Then we have the foot. And then, last but not least, we have the inch. How many inches are in 1 yard? Well, we know that 1 yard is the same as 3 feet, and 1 foot is 12 inches. So we have 3 feet per yard times 12 inches per foot. So we just take 3 times 12, which is 36 inches in 1 yard. How many feet are in 1 mile? Well, 1 mile is 1,760 yards, and 1 yard is 3 feet. So 3 feet per yard times 1,760 yards per mile. And we take our calculator, and we take 3, multiply that by 1,760, and we know that there's 5,280 feet in a mile, which was, if we look back up here in our try these, I said that this number was significant, and I said that that number was significant in the imperial system. Now you know where. Okay? Okay, let's go through an example. Colin is 5 feet 11 inches tall. How tall is Colin in inches? Well, here's the solution. How many inches are there in 5 feet? Well, 1 foot is 12 inches, so 5 feet, there are 5 feet times 12 inches. which is equal to 60. Okay, so that takes care of the 5 feet part. We know there's 60 inches and 5 feet. So what is Colin's height in inches? Well, we take the 60, and then we add the 11 to it. So 5 foot 11 is the same as 71 inches. Okay? Now, let's take a look at a tape measure or at a ruler. An inch is divided into 16 parts. This means working with fractions. You thought you could avoid fractions? You cannot avoid fractions. If we isolate 1 inch from here to here, when we're talking about the imperial system, what we do is we take the distance between 0 and 1, which is 1 inch, and we cut it in half, and you'll notice that the line here at ½ an inch is the longest line. Then we take that 1/2 and we cut it in half again both ways, to the left and to the right, and you can see that the next largest line are these ones right here, and that is 1/4 and the 3/4. Okay, so think of a dollar. If you got $1 and we divide it up into 4 units, we've got 4 quarters make up a dollar. Okay, 4 equal distances, 4 quarters make up 1. We take that quarter, we cut it in half again, and we get the next largest lines, okay, right here, and we're cutting those in half again, and that gives us our eighths, because all we do to cut a fraction in half is we just double the bottom number. Okay, that gives us eighths. And then to get 16ths, we cut the eighths in half, which is the smallest line on there, and to cut a fraction in half, all you do is double the denominator, double the bottom number, and we get our 16ths. So each one of these little divisions is a 16th. And we've taken 1 inch and divided up 16 ways. Okay? As you can see right here. So let's look at example number 2. Sandy is building a staircase with 8 steps. Each step is 7 1/4 inches high. What is the height of the staircase in feet and inches? Okay, so the solution. Consider the whole number first. So let's consider the 7. Consider the whole number first. He's dividing it up into 8 steps. So we take the 7 inches times 8, and 7 times 8, if you know your times tables, this is where it's convenient to memorize your times tables. 7 times 8 is 56. So we know that we've got at least 56 inches. Now we consider the fraction. It says consider the fraction next. Okay, we have 1/4 of an inch left over, but there's 8 steps, so we multiply 1/4 times 8. Okay, and some of you might need your calculator, so we can just take 1/4, which is 1 divided by 4, multiply that by 8, because there's 8 steps, and we end up with 2. Okay, so what is the total height? Well, it's just 56 inches plus 2 inches, and we end up with 58 inches total. Okay, what is the height in feet and inches? Well, in feet and inches, we take our 58, okay, which is our answer. We divide it by 12. Okay, so 58 divided by 12 equals 4. Okay, we have 4 feet. So 4 feet, if we multiply 4 times 12, we end up with 48. And the difference between 48 and 58 is 10. So we have 4 with remainder of 10. So the height of the staircase in feet and inches, 58 inches, is the same as 4 feet, 10 inches. Okay? Do the practice on 2.1 and see if you can get her done. All right.